You said yes in under a year. There was no ring. There was a $9 calculator on the kitchen table and a joint checking account opened that Saturday. 9 months later, you filed taxes together. The whole legal architecture of two lives sealed on faith. Across town, a billionaire's daughter is in year 7 of a courtship that has already burned through 2 prenups, one private investigator, and a full restructuring of her family trust. She is not less in love than you were. She has more to merge. You're about to learn why marriage speed is an inverse curve. The first thing you don't notice about marrying broke is how little there was to protect in the first place. Rung 1. The working class wedding. It's a Tuesday at midnight. You're at the kitchen table with the person you love and a $9 plastic calculator between you. You're adding up rent and groceries for the month, and you come up short by $90. You laugh because there's nothing else to do. He looks at you across the Formica and says, "We should just get married." You say yes. There is no ring. There is no contract. There is barely a savings account. The whole legal architecture of two lives is about to be sealed on the strength of a sentence said over a calculator that cost less than dinner. That Saturday morning, you walk into a bank and open a joint checking account in 12 minutes. The teller doesn't blink. 2 signatures, 2 debit cards. One number you both share now. By month 3, the rent is on both your names. By month 6, the cell phone bill is too. By month 9, you file taxes jointly, and you don't even read the line that says you are now legally responsible for any debt the other person ever hides. You don't read it because you trust him. You don't read it because there is nothing to hide. Almost nothing. You owe $12,000 in student loans. He owes 9 on a credit card. The merger takes under a year because the merger is small. 5 years pass. The income climbs. The accounts grow. Rung 2, the middle-class wedding. You're at the dining table of a friend's house, and she's telling you about her own engagement. She's 34. Her fiancé is 36. They've been together for 2.5 years. She has 6 figures in a retirement account. He owns a small business worth maybe 400,000. She tells you quietly that they're drafting a prenup. Her voice changes when she says the word. She slides her phone across the table and shows you a screenshot of the lawyer's email. "It's awkward," she says, "but my parents made me." You feel something cold move through your chest. You signed nothing. She is signing pages. The wedding she's planning is 2 years out. At her net worth, the math has changed. A retirement account she built for a decade, a business he built for 8 years, a house each of them owns separately. If they merge it all and it breaks, the state will split it in ways neither of them can predict. So they slow down. They hire 2 lawyers. They schedule meetings 90 days before the wedding to draft sunset clauses and disclosure schedules. The courtship that would have ended in 12 months at your rung now stretches to 28. The romance is still there. It's just walking behind a folder now. Speed is what you do when there is nothing to weigh. The minute there is something to weigh, the clock slows. Nobody told her this. Her lawyer just lived it. Drive home that night, and the thing you can't unsee starts working in you. Your own marriage, the fast one, was not faster because you loved more. It was faster because you had less. Less in the account, less on paper, less to protect from a bad day 5 years from now. The speed felt like proof. The speed was an absence. And somewhere higher up, somewhere you have never seen, there are couples who have been together longer than your entire marriage and still have not picked a date. They are not stalling. They are not afraid. They are doing something you have never had to do. And the cost is the thing nobody tells you about yet. Then the money got large enough that the conversation about it could not be skipped. Rung 3, the affluent wedding. The room is on the 14th floor of a building with a doorman. Glass walls, a long table, 2 attorneys on one side, 2 attorneys on the other. In the middle, the couple. Their combined net worth is $6.2 million. They have been together 3 years. They are not engaged yet. They will not be engaged until this document is signed. The senior attorney slides a binder across the table. 340 pages. Read every line, he says. Then we'll talk about the schedules. The bride-to-be reads the first page. Her jaw is tight. Her partner watches her read. Neither of them moves for a full minute. The schedules are where the courtship hides. Schedule A. Every bank account, every brokerage account, every retirement account, with current balances dated within the last 30 days. Schedule B. Real estate with deeds, mortgages, and appraisals. Schedule C. Business interests, capitalization tables, operating agreements. Schedule D. Trusts the person is a beneficiary of, including ones their parents created without telling them. Schedule E. Liabilities, lawsuits, prior obligations, alimony from a marriage 20 years ago. By the time both partners have filled out the schedules, they know each other in a way you did not know your spouse on your wedding day. The disclosure is the courtship. The disclosure takes months. The disclosure is why the courtship at this rung lasts 3 years, not one. Climb again. Rung 4, the wealthy wedding, net worth crosses 10 million, and the cast on stage changes. A private investigator is now a normal line item in the courtship. She receives a sealed envelope at her parents' house, mailed from a firm she has never heard of. Inside, a report on her partner. Tax history for the last 7 years. Prior litigation. 2 business partnerships that ended badly. A driving record. The name of an ex-fiancé from a decade ago who broke off the engagement and never explained why. She reads the report at her kitchen counter with coffee going cold beside her. Her partner doesn't know it exists. He has a report on her too, somewhere in his parents' office. Both reports were paid for by people who love them. Then comes the part nobody romantic ever writes about. Trust restructuring. Before any ring is bought, her family attorney spends 14 months redrafting the family trust to define what is hers, what is the family's, and what can never be touched by a future spouse under any circumstance. 3 generations of paperwork are amended. A new trustee is appointed. A new distribution schedule is signed. By the time the proposal happens, the legal architecture around her has been quietly rebuilt brick by brick. The courtship at this rung lasts 4 years. Some last 5. The wedding itself, when it finally happens, looks indistinguishable from yours. White dress, speeches, cake. The only difference is that everything around it has been engineered, and engineering takes time. This is the rung where you finally understand what slow actually buys. At your rung, you signed everything because you had nothing. At her rung, she signs nothing without 3 rooms of people reading it first. Her trust is older than her marriage will ever be. Her family's last name was a balance sheet before it was a name. Slow is what you do when there is something to lose that took longer than your life to build. And the wealthy do not invent this caution. They inherit it, the way you inherited your speed. Somewhere above this rung, the rooms get bigger, the timelines get longer, and the wedding becomes the smallest part of a thing you have not seen yet. At the top, the wedding isn't the merger. The merger is what survives the wedding. Rung 5. The ultra-wealthy union. The room is a family office boardroom on the 53rd floor of a building with no logo on the directory downstairs. Around the table, 2 estate attorneys, a tax attorney, the family's general counsel, the trustee of the founding generation's dynasty trust, and a 41-year-old heir named in a will that was written in 1968. The heir is in love. The room is not discussing her feelings. The room is discussing whether her partner can be merged into a structure that has survived 3 generations, 2 recessions, and 1 near bankruptcy in 1973. The discussion has been going for 19 months. They have not finished. Before the proposal can happen, the structure has to be ready to receive it. A new generation skipping trust is drafted. The operating company is recapitalized so that her voting shares are non-transferable in any future divorce. A second prenup, written in two jurisdictions, addresses a future child's inheritance separately from hers. The family hires a forensic accountant to confirm her partner's net worth claims. 2 years of meetings, 2 years of revisions, 2 years of him not knowing how thoroughly he has been read. When the trustee finally nods at her father across the boardroom table, the proposal becomes possible. Not certain. Possible. She is 41. She has been with him for 6 years. The ring is now allowed to enter the conversation. Rung 6. The generational marriage. $1 billion and above. The room gets older, the carpet gets quieter, the names at the table are written into deeds in 3 countries and into trusts that were created before the country existed in its current form. A family council convenes. 11 people. Some are not even related to the heir. They are advisors who have served the name longer than the heir has been alive. They are not deciding if she can marry him. They are deciding whether two structures can be merged without one weakening the other. The conversation lasts a decade. The bride is now 46. The groom is 43. They have a child together. They are not married yet. They are very much in love. The structure is almost ready. Now sit with that for a moment, and then come back. Back to the kitchen at midnight. Back to the $9 plastic calculator on the Formica table. Back to the moment he said it across the math, you couldn't make work, and you said yes. And the entire legal architecture of 2 lives was sealed in 11 months on the strength of nothing but love and a shared phone bill. You walked into a bank that Saturday and opened a joint account in 12 minutes. The teller didn't blink. 2 signatures, 2 debit cards, 1 number you share for the rest of your life, or for as long as it lasts. Somewhere at the same hour, a family council is in year 9 of approving a marriage that may still not happen this year. That gap between the kitchen and the boardroom is not a gap in love. It is a gap in what stands behind the love. You had nothing behind you. She has 6 generations, 3 trusts, a foundation, and a name older than her country. You signed everything because there was nothing to read. She reads for a decade because there is something to lose that took 200 years to build. The slow is not coldness. The slow is the wait. The slow is the answer to a question you never asked. The wealthy don't marry slowly because they trust less. They marry slowly because they have more to merge, and the bigger the merger, the longer the diligence.